Welcome back to Switch of South Africa. I'm Nicky Nash, and as you can see today I'm wearing a reflective jacket. That means I'm in a what? I'm in a bucky. And today you join me inside the Ford Ranger Raptor Special Edition. And I had to look the part, dress the part as well. So before we get into the review video, let's speak about my sponsor at Avenders. They give me the AirPods Pro. I've been using the AirPods Pro for the past 2-3 weeks, and trust me, till today they feel like I got them yesterday. They bang. They're honestly amazing. So back to the review. Let's speak more about the car we're in today. Today we're in the Ford Raptor. Yeah, Raptor. So you remember I went to the launch last year October. Click the pop-up banner over there if you didn't see me at the launch. If you didn't see the video, my mistake. And when I drove this vehicle in Cape Town, right? Because it was over 2 days and I was with other people, like I couldn't do what I was doing like when I'm alone, like drive normally and then decide to put my foot down when I want to. So I was always like working under pressure, but I did have my own experience with the car. On road, I didn't really know how the car feels, although I did drive it on road, but my mind wasn't like focused on how it feels to drive on road. I was focused on following the convoy. Whereas off-roading, we did hectic off-roading in Cape Town. I'm sure you guys saw in the video, and I already know what this car's capable of off-road. So when I got this car, what I was looking forward to was how it's gonna drive on road. Am I gonna enjoy it? You know, because of the whole suspension, it being changed and whatnot. So first day this vehicle came, thoroughly enjoyed it. I had made up my mind of this vehicle day one. After day one, I had made up my mind to know, you know what, this vehicle, it is the best. You know, there's this term that I use right now, and I think this term is the best term I can use to describe what this bucky is. There are buckies, and then there's this. For me, honestly, personally, on my own personal opinion, there is no bucky that matches this one in terms of an overall feel. In terms of speed, yes, there are buckies that will match this in speed, but when it comes to off-roading, the capabilities of this and the driving modes that it has as well. So let's pick up the driving modes. There's normal, there's sport, there's grass, gravel, snow. That's when you engage the car to 4 high, because on normal road surfaces the car will be driving on 2-wheel drive, so that's 2 high. So 4 high is 4-wheel drive. And then there's rock. So when you're in rocky places, rock climb, that's the one you use, and that immediately puts the car, it will tell you select 4 low. And so that when you guys do drive this car, for you to select 4 high or 4 low, first thing you need to do, the gearbox, you need to put the car into neutral. You put the car into neutral, you select it, and then it'll flash until it tells you that it's done. Like it'll stop flashing, and then that's when you can put the car into drive, reverse, and all those other features. We learned this at the Ford launch last year. I'm gonna be talking about the launch, right? And there's a mode called Baja Mode, right? It's spelled B-A-J-A. So if you see it, you will say Baja. But last year at the Ford launch, I heard them say Baja Mode, so I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna go with Baja. And then there is mud and sand. That, depending on how hectic it is, if it's not too hectic, you just keep it on 4 high. But if you really need to get out of the sticky situation you're in, you put it to 4 low. And let's speak about the Baja Mode, right? So Baja Mode, I experienced Baja Mode. I love that mode. I think it was one of my favorite features of modes in this vehicle, because this car on Baja Mode, it uses the traction control system very cleverly. It allows you to play with the car, if that makes sense. You can do like drifts with the car, off-road by the way. The car becomes more playful, if I should say. I'll put a Cars Sierra ZA clip on top of this. They thoroughly experienced it. I didn't experience it to that extent, but I did experience it. I did feel the difference of the Baja Mode. I wish I had the car for like a month or so I can like go to a proper place and experience Baja Mode. But that mode is one of the best modes in this vehicle. Take away the off-roading capabilities of this vehicle, that's my favorite mode in this vehicle. Sport and normal, there is slight difference. Like again, the difference is in the gearbox. Honestly, it's not like when you put it into sport, it gives you that immediate surge of power. The difference is in the gearbox. But whilst still speaking about the speed of the car, as big as the car is, and this car produces 157 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque, still the exact same numbers you find in the 2-liter bi-turbo Track, 2-liter bi-turbo Thunder, 2-liter bi-turbo Storm Track. So it's all the exact same. So obviously it's a bit disappointing that they've kept the Raptor's power same as the lower models than this. It would have been nice if this had like more power, maybe like close to 200 kilowatts or 200 kilowatts. The car would have been more complete, although it is a complete vehicle, but the power in here is sufficient for what this car is. Obviously, because it's a Raptor, certain people don't want the power of this car to be the exact same power as the models before it. But honestly, it doesn't feel lazy. If you've driven other buggies, you'll see that this car, it's all because of the gearbox. With the Navara feels quicker than this, and I think it's because of the gearbox, and the Navara has less kilowatts, but because of that 7-speed gearbox, every gear change you feel it. It's kicking you feel it. With those, gear changes are literally, you don't know what gear you're in because of the 10-speed gearbox this one has. So when you put your foot down like this, see, then that's going, so you feel the power. See, like that, I didn't feel that gear change. Once you go gear 1, 2, 3, I think from gear 3 you feel gear 1 to 2, 2 to 3, but from like gear 4 and 5 you don't feel that kick behind you that, oh, I'm going into gear 4, I'm going into gear 5. You don't feel that. Sometimes you'll find yourself on gear 10 asking yourself, how did I get to gear 10? So whereas with the Navara or with any other buggy that has less gears than this, you feel every gear. You feel, oh, I'm in gear 2 now, gear 3, you know. So with the power figures, I am slightly disappointed with the power, but it's not a chain smash for me personally, but it's something that I wish this car had more power in. But nonetheless, it still picks up. You see, you can see the movement, that you can see that I'm going into the next gear, but now you won't see me going to the other gears. You see, it's simple, it's changing, but you can't tell. But 1 to 2, I'm sure you guys saw me, you know. Now this 10-speed gearbox, how is it on highway cruising? Works perfectly. Even city driving works perfectly. Just that there's just like a slight lag from the onset. If you're the robots, there's that slight lag, but other than that, the gearbox works perfectly. Fuel efficiency of this, we'll speak about that. Actually, we'll speak about that. We'll see the 10-speed gearbox actually helps, but for now, look, see, it's kicking me again, and that's, I'm showing gear 5. So that means this car, when it pulls from like a standstill, it pulls from like a gear 2. It doesn't pull gear 1. I'm gonna change it into manual. See, it's in gear 2. So the car wants you to pull in gear 2. So it pulls with gear 2 basically. So let me stop, put it into gear 1. Foot flat, the lag a bit, but it gets going. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. This car has pedal shifters. Now let's speak about the pedal shifters. Are they necessary in this vehicle? It completes the look of the car. It honestly completes the look of the car. But I personally, I've had this car for 6 days. Tomorrow, we're leaving tomorrow. I've literally used the pedal shifters once. And not because I wanted to change gear. Only to check what gear I'm on the highway. Because it's a 10-speed, but when it's automatic, it doesn't tell you what gear you're in. So you have to take it into manual or flip one of the pedals. Yeah, one of the pedals, and then it'll tell you, oh, you're in gear what. So I was just checking what gear I'm in. But for this, keep the car. It is normal gearbox. It knows what to do. It will do all the hard work for you. Now let's speak about the interior feel of this vehicle. This car looks very beautiful on the inside. And the first thing that you notice when you get into this vehicle, when you jump into the car, you're obviously gonna see the steering wheel. But once you sit in it, you're gonna see and feel the seats of this vehicle. This vehicle has wonderful seats. These are the best seats you can find in a buggy. Yeah, I loved the Navara seats, but these seats, oh my days, this is one of the best seats in this range of car. So the interior feel of this vehicle, this car feels quality all around, just except by the doors. Here at the top of the door, you feel that, you know, but honestly everywhere else is soft touch, you know, on the dash, around the gear lever, literally everywhere else you can feel that, you know what, this is actually more than just a buggy. You're in something more premium. You can see where your 1 million rand is going. This is a 1 million rand buggy. Starting price is just under a million rand. I think it's looking around 965,000 rand, and that was last year November, but I'm sure right now it's at a million. So as I'm saying, this is a 1 million rand buggy basically. And for that amount of money, you do see where your money is going. You do feel where your money is going. Is it worth the money? right now, for me personally, looking at other bakkies, it definitely is worth the money, because other bakkies are ranging between 600 to like 800. Some Toyota Hilux is even 900. So then when I look at those bakkies, then I look at this. Remember, I don't put this with those bakkies, so obviously this has to be more expensive. And for R1,000,000, I'd definitely get it. If I had the money, I'd definitely get it. I wouldn't think twice. It's an overall package basically, because even on road it drives very, on and off road it drives very beautifully. I think this is one of the best bakkies I've driven on and off road. On and off road, this has to be the best bakkie for me. But people might have their own views, but for me, this is the best bakkie on and off road. So now let's talk about the practicality of this vehicle. This vehicle, when you're inside, you do feel the space. You feel like you're on top of the world, literally. This vehicle, where I'm sitting, I feel is very spacious. Passenger seat spacious. Behind me as well, the seats are quite big, quite spacious. My mistake, by the way. There's a lot of leg room for you. If the driver is like my height, so 1.74 meters, I can sit behind myself very nicely, comfortably as well. And something this one has, right, because this is the special edition. The normal Ranger, the one that came out in 2017-18, didn't have a roller shutter. It came with like a sail at the back. So this one, because the special edition from factory, it comes with the roller shutter and that, I don't know what to call it, but this black thing, yes, I don't know what to call it, but you guys know exactly what I'm talking about because I'll be showing you guys. It works. The roller shutter is not automatic. On the Storm Track, it's automatic, and the Storm Track is under this one, and this is not automatic. I asked the PR manager for why this one isn't automatic, and they said because this vehicle is bought by people that are doing off-roading, hectic off-roading. So if I'm always off-roading, the car's always bouncing up and down and, you know, doing all the necessary things, obviously that movement will in the near future will impact the mechanism found in the roller shutter. So it makes sense for this one not to be an electrical roller shutter. Makes perfect sense, and I totally get them. So that's why, if you guys didn't know, that's why this one doesn't have the automatic roller shutter. It's just a normal roller shutter. So now we're gonna speak about 3 things I like and 3 things I don't like. 3 things I like about this vehicle. I did it wrong. We started the bad this side. As always, 3 things I don't like in this vehicle. One that I don't like is the windows. It's electric window for me only. Other windows, one, you need to press and hold. I don't like that. I wish for a car I'm paying R1,000,000, at least give me electric windows all around. Second thing I don't like about this vehicle, I honestly don't have. I don't have a second thing I don't like of this vehicle. I don't have a third thing I don't like of this vehicle. I have a suggestion, or I wish it had. I wish this car had front sensors and a camera, because of how big it is. When you moving slowly, parking, you need those. You need it. So I wish it had that, and that's about it. The 3 things I like how big it is. How big it is. That's 1. I love how beautiful it is. That's 2. 3, I like how it drives on and off road. Its capabilities on and off road are insane. I love that. I just love how it handles on and off road. This one, the Baja Mode, oh my days, trust me, I love that. And the final part, you know how we do it this side. Do I like the car? Would I buy the car? Would I recommend the car? Do I like the car? No, I don't like it. I love it. Would I buy the car? No, I'll buy it. Would I recommend the car? Definitely. I won't even tell you to go look elsewhere. I won't even tell you that there is a Raptor, but there's also this. No. When you ask me for a Raptor, I'm like, brother, I'm going with you, let's go buy. Or sister. Literally. I am not gonna tell you there's a Raptor, but have a look at that. When I tell you about a Raptor, I'm telling you about a Raptor only. Nothing else. For you to understand the hype about this car, you need to experience this car. If you haven't experienced this car, you won't know the hype behind this car, and you won't know the capabilities of this car off-road. And that's where the party piece is, off-road. That's why I'm so crazy about this vehicle, because I went off-road in Cape Town and I went off-road here by myself. Okay, not by myself, but I'm a photographer, but I was doing the most. And you guys will see that on my Instagram channel. The video will come maybe a day after this one has been dropped, or the same day, you never know. So I'm Nicky Nash from South Africa. Please stay tuned, keep it locked.